It's okay to get some. Are we live? Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to OctoStudio Live. Say hello to our special guest today, Katya.
Hello.
So happy you're joining us today. I really missed doing these. It's been a minute, huh? How's everybody doing today? Let me know in the chat. How's your day going? You excited for the end of the year? Looking forward to the next one? Are you really busy with a bunch of things to turn in by the end of the year? What's going on? How is life? Hi, Jenny. Hi, Zinnia. Thanks for joining us. Oi, João. And hello, Bob. Wow. So many friends joining us today. Exciting. Yeah, this is going to be a really special live stream for many reasons. One, we're going to be talking and learning about the visual accessibility features of the app. We're also going to be, which by the way, Katya, correct me if I'm wrong, but is OctoStudio the only block-based coding tool that's usable with a screen reader?
It's one of the few. There are
It's one of the
some
few.
that work on computers that are accessible with a screen reader.
So this one is the only one on a phone that works
Um,
with the screen reader?
as far as I know, there might be some, but probably not
To the
as
best of our
complex as
knowledge.
OctoStudio. Yeah.
And we will be making projects using the screen reader. I think that'll be really like a learning opportunity for a lot of people who maybe haven't used one before. Um, and we're gonna get to know a little bit about Katya also, and maybe we'll start with that in a little bit. Let's just let me take a look at the chat here. One of the few, yeah, seems like Bob the Solar knows a little bit about screen readers, accessibility, and coding. Very cool. Hola, Lula. Happy to learn. So nice. Well, I guess to start off, Katya, why don't you share a little bit about how you got into coding and also how you ended up here on the OctoStudio team? Like, we're so lucky to have you, but maybe share a little bit of your journey, your trajectory to our friends who are watching.
Sure. So I actually learned how to code with Scratch. That's how I first got interested in programming, and I ended
Full
up,
circle.
yeah, it
Comes
ended up
back
kind of
full
being a full
circle.
circle experience.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be able to work with the Lifelong Kindergarten group during college, and then I just kind of never left. So I did my master's with Lifelong Kindergarten,
Classic,
working in
yes.
accessibility, and now I'm still here, not a student anymore. But
It's such, I have a similar thing. I graduated from my master's program and also was like, I don't want to leave this group. It's such a special
yeah,
place. And there's so much exciting things happening right now, especially around OctoStudio. Um, which is why it's so fun for me to be doing these live streams and share more about what's going on and get ideas from you all. If anyone at any point has a question, just drop it in the chat. We would love to hear what you're wondering. We would love to just chat. And so maybe we could just jump into making a project. And we're definitely going to get some chat input for this project. But when we start now, we should be able to hear the screen reader voice, right? And
yeah,
I'm wondering if you could maybe just describe for folks who may not know, like, what does the screen reader do, and maybe a little bit of like how it works.
yeah, definitely. So screen readers are built into almost all phones. Um, this is called VoiceOver on iPhones or TalkBack on Android. And it's to help mainly people who are blind or low vision, who can't see the screen, navigate around, but also other people, maybe with motor impairments or anything else, might use the screen reader to kind of
Mm,
navigate around the screen. Um, and what it will do is it'll kind of focus on different pieces of your screen and
mm.
describe what's there. So I can start swiping left and right, and it'll start navigating through the screen, and you'll hear it read like each element as I focus on it. So here,
OctoStudio. Heading level 1.
so that's saying that's like the heading, and it's
Mm.
OctoStudio, and I could go to, I think settings is next.
Settings. Button. Selected. My projects. Tab. 1 of 2.
Yeah, so I could just swipe left and right to kind of navigate through the page in order, or I can drag my finger around to kind of explore. So I'll
Mm,
try to drag my finger to the create new project button, and then I'll be able to double tap on that to like activate that button. So I'll do that.
very cool. Yeah.
Select Create New Project button.
Yeah.
Create a project. Heading Level 1.
This is great. So
Cool.
everything that's visual on the phone, the screen reader can sort of access and read out loud and describe to somebody who's using the tool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, let's head on to pick a sprite, and I'm gonna ask the chat, what sprite should we pick today? We're making a very simple project where something small can happen. We really just want to use it as an opportunity to talk about some of the visual accessibility features. So it can be about anything really. So let's head on to the sprite selector.
Sounds good. I'll navigate to that. Choose a sprite
What do
button.
you choose a sprite button? Add a sprite. Heading Level 1.
Heading level one. Okay.
All
So
right.
are there
So our friends
suggestions?
in the chat, what are some suggestions? Reading out loud now. Cool. Yeah. And I'm this is just a curiosity. Are you able to change like the voice of the screen reader?
You are. It depends what language you speak. Some languages have more options than others, but I know English has a lot of options for which
Mm,
voice you want to use.
that's very cool. And also, I've seen some people who are really used to using a screen reader where they make the speed of the voice be really fast, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of like when I'm watching videos on 2x, it just sounds so, but you get used to it. Hi, Brian. Hola. Welcome. Let's see. Oh, my friend Irenka is here in the chat. Hi, Irenka. Nice to see you. Hola. So let's see. We have some suggestions. The Alien.
The Alien, that's a
The
good one.
mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to that one.
Think Face Robot. Alien button.
All right, so I'll click the Alien.
Add a backdrop for your sprite. Heading Level 1.
So
I
what kind
think,
of backdrop?
yeah. Do we have a suggestion for a backdrop? What is it like to scroll through the backdrops with the screen reader?
Yeah, so if I'll drag my finger to focus on one and then I'll show kind of the scrolling. So
City button.
that one's city, and then if I swipe left or right,
Sky button.
Mm.
Underwater button.
it'll kind of describe them. There are some fun names of backdrops, which you don't really get to know the name of the backdrop if you don't have the screen reader on. But if you're ever interested, you could turn on your screen reader and figure out all the names. Like this
That's a cool
mushroom
fun
one.
fact. Yeah. Yeah. What is
I
that one
think this
called?
one has a funny name. I think it's called
Mushy
Mushy.
button.
Mushy
The
for mushroom.
Mushi. That's a little Easter egg for sure.
Yeah.
um, the space background does seem appropriate for the alien.
That does seem appropriate. Yeah. Where's that? That one's a little farther
Car.
down.
Field. Tropical. Desert. Stars button.
Stars.
Stars.
Let's do stars.
Lovely.
There we go. All right. So now that we're here, I can drag my finger around to figure out what's on the stage. So I can see
Stars.
that's
Image.
stars image, and then
Alien. Image.
here's my alien.
Mm.
And then what do we want our alien to do? So you might notice that it looks a little bit different than if you start a project without a screen reader on. There's no starting block. And we actually did that because of the advice of one of our screen reader consultants, who said it was kind of confusing to have a block there that she wasn't expecting because she couldn't see the screen. So we start with a completely blank slate when the screen reader is on.
Yeah. And actually, would you say a little bit more about that collaboration with the consultants? They were from the Perkins School for the Blind. That's right?
Yeah, definitely. So the first person we talked with was from Perkins School for the Blind. And she gave us a lot of advice on like how to start, how to like prioritize what was important to do first when we were first starting to try to make OctoStudio accessible. And she also connected us to a lot of other resources and people, which eventually led us to Linda from Carroll Center, who she is blind, she is a screen reader user, and she's given us a lot of feedback and done a lot of play testing with the app and told us how to improve it.
Yeah, it's so important to be testing it with people who use the screen reader, right?
Definitely,
And
yeah.
maybe we can drop in the chat. There's a link to a blog post from the Perkins School for the Blind about the accessibility of OctoStudio. It would be interesting for you all to check that out. And maybe I'll ask, let's see, are there already some suggestions in the chat? We can move the character with tilting. We could make a game. We can make the alien fly. Definitely, let's add some sort of movement to the alien. What do you think, Katya?
Well, I could show one of our other accessibility features, which is that some of the blocks make a sound now.
Ooh,
Um,
yes, the
so
sonification.
a lot of the
Let's
movement blocks make a sound.
When to start. Tab
Let's
selected.
choose a
When to
when start
start.
block
Tab
first.
1 of 7.
Maybe let's use when shake.
When I shake. Button.
So I'll drag that out.
Delete. New stack.
And you might hear it, it's telling me where I'm about to drop the block. So if in case I can't see the screen, it'll tell me like if I go down, it'll tell me I'll delete it.
Delete. New stack.
And when I'm up here, it says new stack. So I'll add that to a new stack.
You're starting a new code stack.
Yep. And then
Motion. Selected. Motion. Tab.
I'm in the
2 of 7.
motion area. And maybe let's take out a jump block just to kind of show the sonification.
Jump. Button.
Yeah, I love the jump block.
Delete. New stack. When I shake. Stack 1 of 1.
Okay, so I'll drop that in. And then I'll shake it and you'll be able to hear a little boing noise.
And so then that's so cool. So as the code is running, a lot of the different blocks will make sounds so that somebody who maybe has low vision needs, is visually impaired or blind, they can also follow along through the execution of the code stack. Just like when in the visual version, the blocks are highlighted, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone else wants to, so this is on by default if the screen reader is on, sonification turns on, but if anyone else wants to try playing around with it, it's actually in the OctoStudio settings. You can turn on sound effects for code blocks.
I recommend everyone do turn it on because it's just really fun. The sound effects are great.
Really
and
fun.
Actually, I think, do you want to say a little bit, Katya, about how these sound effects were made?
Yeah, sure. So someone else who's in Lifelong Kindergarten Group, Nora, who also happens to be my sister, she did a lot of work on
family collaboration.
Yes. And she actually was in charge of kind of designing a lot of these sounds. So I think she did make the jump sound. I forget how she made that one, but I know she
Can we hear it one more time? Let's hear the jump sound.
Yeah.
Motion. Heading level 3.
It sounds so springy. Like she maybe recorded a trampoline or something.
Yeah,
that's so
it's
cool.
Really awesome. She did tell me little stories about how she made some of the sounds too.
Let's pull out your block with like your favorite story.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Colors and light. Selected. Colors and light. Tab. 5 of 7.
Gotta let VoiceOver finish talking. But then it's set color.
Set color. Button. Delete. New stack. Jump. Stack 1 of 1.
Okay, and this one, here I'll play it. So it'll make the boing sound and then the set color sound.
Oh, that is a really satisfying sound. I'm wondering if people in the chat want to guess what was recorded for the set color sound. Maybe we can hear it a little bit more. Let's see.
Yep.
It sounds like paint, but you know, like a good Foley artist, sometimes you use an unusual or a little bit of a different object to get a really good sound, right? So now we're setting the color to blue, jumping in the alien becomes blue. Jenny's guessing like shaking a can of drink. Oh, that's a really good one. A really good guess. So what was it, Katya?
That is actually pretty much what it was. Nora actually shook her water bottle up and down, and it made this little splash noise. Yeah.
Soup is also a really good guess.
Soup, yeah.
It does kind of sound like a thick soup or something. Yeah. Let's see. Should we have our alien project to do maybe like one more thing? What do you all in the chat think? What else can we add? See you later, Bob. Thanks for joining us. And maybe while the chat comes up with some ideas, there was another thing I wanted to ask about, which is I remember the OctoStudio team, we spent a lot of time thinking about the colors of the blocks on the palette and the text on the blocks, and actually really the any place in the app that has text. And can you maybe share a little bit about like why is color so important for visual accessibility?
Yeah, so I wasn't ever directly working on this, but I know a lot of people on the team were really thinking about how to have enough contrast between the text and whatever is behind it. And that just makes it easier to read. Because if you have, for example, like dark text on a dark background, that's really hard to read, especially if you're visually impaired. So making sure that we have enough contrast for the text, and also that all the text in the app is big enough to kind of fit those guidelines of what makes it easiest to read.
Yeah. And if you are somebody who designs materials to be printed or on the web and you want to make sure that there's enough contrast, there's lots of tools out there to check. So you can search for like color contrast checker, and it'll tell you whether your contrast is good enough that it's accessible to people.
Yeah.
And we got some suggestions related to sound, so maybe we can add a sound block to our project.
Sure. So maybe I'll go to the little sound editor and we can choose a sound to add.
Add a sound button.
So do we want to choose a sound or record one?
Maybe we can record a sound.
Sounds
What would our
good.
alien say? Our alien friend? Well, a taller de Ada said collect stars. So maybe he can say that he wants to collect stars. I'm gonna get the
Okay.
stars, something like that.
Sounds great. Let's do that.
Start recording button.
I'm gonna get the stars.
Start recording.
All
Wait,
right.
can we add a sound filter? I love the sound filter so
Yeah,
much.
of course. I really like using the faster one.
Yes. Yeah, it's so
Faster
funny.
button. Faster.
Let's see how that sounds.
Play sound button. Play
I'm gonna
sound.
get the stars.
Yeah. That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great.
All right.
Well, thanks, Zinnia, for
Okay,
dropping the
button.
link to the color contrast checker.
Home
Nice.
button. Play sound. End of stack
Let's just
button.
connect
Set
that.
new stack.
Oh, and you can hear, so it says new stack when I'm up here, and it says delete if I drag it to the bottom. But when I start dragging over the stack, it'll tell me what I'm about to connect to as well.
Oh.
Set color. Jump. When I shake. Set color.
So,
Stack 1 of 1.
yeah, so I'll connect that to the set color.
So it'll tell you like what is the code block right above it, so you know you're putting it in the right place. That's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
let's try it out.
I'm gonna get the stars.
I love this. I love this. And so like this project has sound and also some visual elements, but we've done some activities in the past where we've made like non-visual projects with OctoStudio. And I think that's one of the cool things about it being on a phone, right? Like the format of the phone makes it easy to do things with Shake, for example. So we were thinking maybe we would try to make like a non-visual project. So maybe we can start a new project now. And we had an idea this time for a project, which I'll share shortly in the chat. While we're switching over to a new project, I'm wondering if people have more questions about like Katya, her background, and her work on accessibility, about the color contrast or sonification, about anything in OctoStudio, really. Just a little moment to check in, see if y'all have questions while we get started on a new project. And while I take a little sip of water.
Yeah. And I'll go back to my home here.
Button. Create new project button.
So now we're prepared.
A little breather. Let's see. And there's like a little bit of a delay between the stream and the chat, so there's always a few seconds where I'm saying, how's everyone doing? Or what's the suggestion? And then we have to wait a couple more seconds and see. Oh, here we go. What was something you found interesting while working on these screen reader features? Great question. Yeah.
That is a great question. Yeah. I think one thing that was interesting to me was just like learning how to use a screen reader. I had never done that before I started this project, I guess like 2 years ago at this point. Um, and it was confusing at first to try to use the phone in a new way, but it was surprisingly like quick to adapt to, I think, after I started.
Yeah.
Another thing I definitely found surprising is how few apps are actually accessible. I remember trying to join Zoom meetings with my screen reader on because I was like trying to demo something in a Zoom meeting, and I just couldn't even press a lot of the buttons in Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah, so that really showed how important it was to make accessible apps like OctoStudio.
Yeah. In a previous job, I also worked on making a app more accessible. And so I was using the screen reader for that. And one of the things that I learned through it is some images on the internet have like a alt text description of what they are, but most of them don't. And especially on a site like Twitter, where people are uploading their own photos and their own images, I really just realized how much the experience is like, well, I don't know what this image is even of. And it was really something that it made me start to add alt text to my images now on Twitter especially. So this is something that other folks can look into as well. Like when you upload an image, you can just give a description about what it's like, and that just makes it so much more accessible, and so that people who are using a screen reader can actually know what you're posting and sharing about. Cool. Okay, so for our non-visual project, we thought we would make a Magic 8-Ball inspired project, and I have a prop right here of this toy. So this is a toy that I didn't know about until kind of recently. I think it's a very popular toy in the United States, but I'm not sure about other countries. And the way that it works is you're supposed to ask it yes or no questions, and then some text. It'll be hard to show on the camera because you have to hold it up. Let's see if this will be a disaster or no. But some text will show up here that gives you a magic answer from beyond to your yes or no question. So what's a good yes or no question? Will it rain tomorrow? You give it a little shake and you turn it, and it says yes. So the magic 8-Ball says it will rain tomorrow. Where in the world will it rain tomorrow? Somewhere in the world it will rain tomorrow. But it has a lot of other answers, like, let's see. This one says, maybe. This one says, outlook not so good. Let's see one more example. Sometimes it's a little bit sassy. It's decidedly so. So I think our project idea is we're going to recreate our own Magic 8-Ball where we can shake and hear an audio answer to a yes or no question. And so maybe one thing that our friends in the chat can start writing is, what are some answers to yes or no questions that might be funny? Like, obviously there's yes, no, and maybe, but it could be like, if you wish hard enough, or not in a million years, or there's so many other things, other ways that we could answer, and we'd love to have some of your creativity to help us out. So let's get started on this project.
Let's do it. So I'll create a new project.
Create a project. Head. Choose a sprite. Button.
Okay, choose a sprite.
Add a sprite. Heading level 1.
So we should choose something wise, probably. I don't know.
What is a wise sprite? And we won't need to be looking at the project to play with it, but it's nice when it's like either way it works, right? So
yeah.
What is a
Maybe one of
wise
the
Animals and
animals.
nature selected.
Yes, what
Animals
is a
and
wise
nature.
animal? Like an
Tab.
elephant.
4 of
I've heard
6.
elephants are very wise.
Oh, I
They
like
can
that
paint.
idea.
Yeah.
Never
Though owl's
find-
also very wise. You're right.
Oh,
That's
the
just
owl.
a
Okay, here we
canonical
Owl.
wise
Button.
animal.
Let's
It's a
use the
sage
owl.
advice. A lot of people said
Add
owl
a
at the same
backdrop for your
time.
sprite. Heading level 1.
Excellent. Okay. And I don't know. Let's you could be in
Tropical.
nature.
Button.
Tropical.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Home.
Here's our
Button.
owl.
This is like you're walking in the park and you come across a wise owl.
Perfect. Okay.
So I guess one of the first things we need is a when shake.
Let's do it.
When to start. Tab. Selected. When to start. Tab. When play. When I shake. Button. Delete. New stack.
All right. We've got a when I shake. And now we need it to be able to play sounds that will answer our questions.
And we already have one suggestion for an answer. Sasha says one of the answers can be no way.
Excellent. Okay, let's do that.
Add a sound. Button. Start recording. Button.
No way.
Recording.
Maybe I'll make it, should I add any sound effects? What do you think, Thais?
I want to know what it sounds like if it's slow and
Play
echo
sound. Button.
together.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Let's try it.
Slower. Button. Slower. Echo effect. Button. Echo effect. Play sound. Button. Play sound.
No way.
No way, yay. I think that sounds
really
like a wise old owl. Sure.
I think so too. This is perfect.
Okay. Button. Home. Play
So that's
sound.
one
End of stack.
recording.
Button.
Okay,
We
so
have
can try it.
another suggestion, which is
perfect.
yeah. Let's try this one
Add a
with
sound.
the and
Button.
when
Play
shake, and then we
sound.
can
End
add
of
more
stack.
sounds. Add
When
more
I shake.
answers.
Stack 1 of 1.
All right, let's try it.
No way.
No way, way. I love that. I love that.
That's awesome.
All right. So we have another recording suggestion for probably, and then
All
a
right.
third one for
Add a
in my
sound.
dreams.
Button.
Let's add those two. And chat, we need
Start
some
recording.
answer
Button.
suggestions. Oh, Lula, another one.
Probably.
Definitivamente.
Recording.
Did that record me speaking or?
Play sound.
I don't think
Button.
so.
Okay, cool.
Let's see.
Play sound.
Probably. Yeah, we're good.
Slower.
make it.
But slower. Echo effect. Button. Echo effect.
All right. And we can
Play
try
sound.
playing
Button.
that.
Play sound.
Probably.
Probably. I love it. I love to
Okay,
layer the
button.
effects.
Yeah.
Sometimes even when you layered like the fast effect,
Home,
it just gets
button.
higher and higher pitched, and it's really funny.
Add a
let's
sound.
see.
Button.
So now the next one will be in my dreams.
Let's do that.
Start recording. Button.
In my dreams.
Recording. Slower. Button. Slower. Echo effect. Button. Echo effect. Play sound. Button. Play sound.
My dreams.
That one sounds like it's happening in my
okay,
dreams.
button. Home. Button.
All right.
All right. And now we're gonna work on our Spanish here because Lula suggested definitivamente.
All right. I'll try that one.
Add a sound. Button. Start recording. Button.
Definitivamente.
Start
That was
recording.
more Spanish than my version. I realized I said it like in Portuguese.
I hope my pronunciation was okay. It's been a
That
while
was
since I
excellent.
spoke Spanish.
Play sound. Button. Play sound.
Definitivamente. Oops, I forgot my effects.
Slower. Button. Slower. Echo effect. Button. Echo effect.
Oops. Sorry, sometimes the screen reader
Slower.
gets confused.
Button. Play sound. Button. Play sound.
Don't we all get
Definitivamente.
confused?
True.
Okay. Button.
I want to add one. I want to suggest one answer. I want to
Home.
say something
Button.
like, "If you so wish." Because that's
Add
kind
a
of like,
sound.
if you want it to be
Button.
true, it's true. If you don't want it to be true, then don't worry about it.
Start recording. Button.
If you so wish.
Ding.
Ah,
Slower. Button. Slower. Echo effect. Button. Echo effect. Play sound. Button. Play sound.
If you so wish.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
so awesome.
Well,
I
we
feel like the
definitely.
effects are satisfying every time I
Yeah, every time. I love the sound effects. One thing is I even want
Okay.
to add more
Button.
sound effects in future versions of the app. I think that'd be really cool.
I think that'd be really awesome.
So now we have a
Home.
bunch of
Button.
recordings and we want to maybe play a random one when we shake. So how do we do that?
Yeah, so let's find the random block, which is in the last category.
Control. Tab. More
And
blocks.
chat, feel free
Tab.
to give
7
more
of
answers
7.
if you more suggestions if you think of one. But also,
Selected.
what are some yes
More
or no
blocks.
questions you
Tab.
would like to ask
7 of
the
7.
wise owl?
All right, and I'll navigate to the random block.
Set variable. Change variable. Display variable. Variable. Sprite information. Random. Button.
Random. Okay, and I'll drag that out and put it in the play sound block.
Delete. New stack. Play sound. Play sound.
So one thing that I wanted to note is we're still definitely working on a lot of the accessibility features and screen reader features in OctoStudio. And one thing that's really important that you can't do right now is change the inputs inside of blocks. And that's something we're currently working on. But that's one reason why I'm using this random block instead of trying to choose the random option from in the menu. Which actually, does that even exist? I don't know.
So should we have 5 more recordings since it's going to be from 1 to 10?
Yeah, we could add 5 more recordings. It would work even without adding those because it kind of wraps around. So like,
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
good to know. Oh, and actually maybe another important thing to say is that you're using the developer version of the app right now because there is currently a bug with VoiceOver and it will be fixed in the next update, right?
Yes, that's true.
So probably people in the chat right now, like if you were trying to use VoiceOver with the app following along, sorry if that didn't work as you expected. But if people are watching this archived version of the stream, hopefully that's been fixed already.
Yes. Yeah, right now
Okay.
there's a bug just with dragging these round blocks like the random one. So that'll be fixed very soon.
So maybe we should see what our project is like. Let's
Yeah,
we
so
can
should
full
we-
screen it.
Enter full screen. Button.
Let's do that.
Landscape.
We can
Owl.
swap
Image.
to the landscape mode. There we go. And I'm gonna shake this along just for as a prop. So
Perfect.
That's
So
a
we should
shake
ask it a
phone.
question.
oh, that's true. We have to first ask a question.
Yeah.
Who has a yes or no question for the wise owl? I'm gonna read. I don't know if you can see the chat, Katya, so I'm gonna read a question that somebody dropped, not for the wise owl. Let's see. Hi, I have a question. How do you simultaneously share screen from operating system and your video? And also, what do you touch move? What app do you use? Greetings from Poland. Hello. If you're asking about how we do like the video screens and the phone screens, we use this great free software called OBS to set it up.
Yeah, and the touch move, if you're asking about how do I use this voiceover like navigation, it's built into iPhones. You can go into settings and accessibility and turn on voiceover. And on Android, there's a very similar one, and it's called TalkBack, also in the accessibility settings.
Buenas tardes, Ima. Hello. Let's see. I'm gonna try to think of a yes or no question as well. Oh, Jenny has a good one. Wise owl. Are you really wise?
That's a good one. I'll shake it and see what he says.
Definitivamente.
Definitivamente. Wow, that is like the most yes answer we have recorded. So I feel
That's
like
true.
maybe there is some sort of wisdom happening here in our project. Let's see. I'm going to ask, will I find a forgotten leftover for dinner tonight in my fridge? Because I don't feel like cooking.
No way.
No way!
Darn.
Oh, I have to get cooking.
Unfortunate.
Let's see. Who else has a yes or no question? This is your chance to get an answer from the wise owl, the definitivamente wise owl. Oh, Sasha asks, should I eat spaghetti?
Let's see.
Probably.
Probably. It's so funny how these are great answers to these questions. Probably should eat spaghetti. Spaghetti's pretty good. I agree.
True.
Maybe we can take like one more. So, João is asking, should I go to bed earlier?
Let's ask the owl.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably. It can't hurt to get a little more sleep, huh? Catch up on our sleep debt. And then I'm also on top of yes or no questions. Please keep dropping your yes or no questions for the wise owl. But I just also want to see if anybody else has questions about the app in general, about the accessibility features, questions for Katya or maybe other folks on the team. Drop them in the chat. We will be wrapping up. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream than usual, so we'll be wrapping up somewhat soon. Yes. Yeah, great question, Paolo. Catching up in the chat. Lots of laughter. Oh, OS is OctoStudio. I feel like I should know that. I was reading your question. I said the operating system. Yeah, but so Katya's on a Zoom call, and she's sharing her phone screen through Zoom and her webcam also. And we used OBS to pull sort of just like those windows into our own setup for the live stream. One more question for the wise owl. Are you friendly?
Oh, let's see.
If you so wish.
If you so wish. Kind of like, if you're friendly to me, I'll be friendly to you. I love it. This has been so fun.
This was awesome. Thanks for inviting me.
And I feel I also learned a lot. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope
It's
that
really fun to be here.
yeah, I hope that our friends learned things. I hope you all had fun. Thank you so much for all your input into the 2 projects that we made. That was great. Let's see. Is there any closing remarks? Don't forget to share your projects on social media. Tag OctoStudio, tag at OctoStudio app. We always want to see what y'all are creating. We have a lot in store for next year, really exciting things to share with you all, more opportunities to get together, collaborate, chat, make projects, and hang out. Oh, we have a question. Could you show again the code you used in the game? Yes.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Exit full screen. Button. Portrait. Home. Button.
So we have a few extra sound blocks here just because we were creating each sound one by one. But the only code that's running is this one at the top, the one I shake, play a random sound.
Yeah, so it's a really short snippet. And you see it makes like a really fun project, right? A little bit of code can go a long way. Well, thanks so much for your questions. Thanks for joining us. Have a good rest of the year. Happy holidays. Happy New Year in advance to everybody. And we'll see you in January.
See you.
Thanks, Katya.
Thank you.
Bye.